Srila Prabhupada's purport. The conditioned life of a living being is caused by his revolting against the Lord. There are men called Deva, or godly living beings, and there are men called Asuras, or demons, who are against the authority of the Supreme Lord. In the Bhagavad-gita, 16th chapter, a vivid description of the Asuras is given, in which it is said that the Asuras are put into lower and lower states of ignorance, life after life, and so the conditioned life of a living being is lower animal forms, and have no by his are against the authority that the Asuras are put into lower and lower states of are gradually rectified to God consciousness by the mercy of the Lord, and so conditioned according to the supreme will. Such devotees of God are very confidential associates of the Lord, and when they come to save human society from the dangers of godlessness, they are known as the powerful incarnations of the Lord, as sons of the Lord, as servants of the Lord, or as associates of the Lord, but none of them falsely claim to be God themselves. This is a blasphemy declared by the Asuras, and the demoniac followers of such Asuras also accept pretenders as God or his incarnation. In the revealed scriptures there is definite information of the incarnation of God. No one should be accepted as God or an incarnation of God unless he is confirmed by the revealed scriptures. The servants of God are to be respected as God by the devotees who actually want to go back to Godhead. Such servants of God are called Mahatmas or Tirthas, and they preach according to particular time and place. The servants of God urge people to become devotees of the Lord. They never tolerate being called God. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was God himself according to the indication of the revealed scriptures, but he played the part of a devotee. People who knew him to be God addressed him as God, but he used to block his ears with his hands and chant the name of Lord Vishnu. He strongly protested against being called God, although undoubtedly he was God himself. The Lord behaved so to warn us against unscrupulous men who take pleasure in being addressed as God. The servants of God come to propagate God consciousness, and intelligent people should cooperate with them in every respect. By serving the servant of God, one can please God more than by directly serving the Lord. The Lord is more pleased when he sees that his servants are properly respected, because such servants risk everything for the service of the Lord and so are very dear to the Lord. The Lord declares in the Bhagavad-gita that no one is dearer to him than one who risks everything to preach his glory. By serving the servants of the Lord, one gradually gets the quality of such servants, and thus one becomes qualified to hear the glories of the Lord. The eagerness to hear about God is the first qualification of a devotee eligible for entering the kingdom of God. Sushrusho shadadhanasya vasudeva katharuchihi Syan mahat sevaya vipra punyatirtha nishevanat. O twice-born sages, by serving those devotees who are completely freed from all vice, great service is done. By such service one gains affinity for yesterday. The topic of discussion in the class was the glories of Srimad-Bhagavatam, particularly that it is the essence of the essence of all the Vedas. And a question was raised after the class, which is more likely to be raised in this part of the sacred land of Bharata Bhumi than in other parts, because the influence of the Ramanuja Sampradaya is particularly prominent in this part. So the question arose then, how is it that such a great Acharya Ramanuja did not mention Srimad-Bhagavatam, and he is not known to have mentioned in his extant writings. There's no mention, and he's not reputed in the oral tradition to have spoken on it. Well, from this verse, we can understand very well, the verse that we're reading today, we can understand very well that one of his major teachings captured, or was very much in accord with the essential teachings of Srimad-Bhagavatam, because one of the main teachings of Sri Ramanuja, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu adopted into his sampradaya, was to respect and serve the Vaishnavas, the devotees of the Lord, which we don't find nearly as prominently in other Vaishnavas, for instance in the Madhva Sampradaya, in the Vallabh Sampradaya. It's not that they don't respect the devotees. In the Madhva Sampradaya they mostly give tremendous respect to Madhvacharya himself. In the Vallabha Sampradaya they also respect devotees, the Ashta Chaps, the 8 poets, for instance, and Vallabh Acharya himself. But you see, it's very much emphasized in Ramanuja's teachings, and this is adopted by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu into his sampradaya. The importance of serving the devotees and associating with the devotees is a theme which runs throughout Srimad-Bhagavatam. There are many references therein, as in other shastras. Yesterday we also, was it in the class or elsewhere? I was discussing with someone about Srila Jiva Goswami's contribution of the Shat Chandarbha, his thesis systematizing the teachings of Srimad-Bhagavatam and establishing the Siddhantas, the philosophical conclusions of the Gauriya Sampradaya, which are not necessarily different from those of any other Sampradaya. In fact, most of them, great majority of them, the same as any other. In English, saying as any other, it sounds disparaging, as all other Vaishnava Sampradayas. So in the Sandarbhas, there's a section in which Jiva Goswami touches the topic. He doesn't give every single verse, because there would be so many, but he gives a few sample verses to show how serving the devotees is stressed. And he quotes, first of all, this verse: Sushu Shro Shadadhanasya Vasudeva Kataruchi Syamaha Sevaya Vipra Punya Tirtha Nishayavana. There's so much meaning in each word. It's that's why there are commentaries which they unpack, is the modern English term. They unpack some of the meaning which is inherent in each verse, but actually each verse is so deep with meaning. As yesterday I quoted that verse that Krsna Tulla Bhagavat Vibhu Sarvashra Prati Shloke Prati Akare Nana Arthakoi. The Srimad-Bhagavatam is equal to Krishna in power and in giving shelter to everyone. Every syllable is pregnant with so many meanings, or replete with so many meanings. So, just the basic, straightforward, simple meaning is that it's emphasizing serving devotees. By serving devotees, one will get a taste for hearing the messages of Vasudeva. Because if one serves devotees, he'll hear them speaking about Vasudeva. Sri Ramanuja, again mentioning him, he said, if you can't do anything else, if you can't do any sadhana, you can't do any service, you feel yourself to be completely hopeless and useless, just sit down close to the devotees. If you can't even serve them, just sit down. Don't disturb them, just sit. Because just by being in their presence you'll be benefited. Because naturally they talk about Krishna. Naturally, matchita madgata prana bodhayanti paraspram kathayantas chamamitya chushanti charavanti cha. Where there are devotees, there will be discussion of Krishna because their thoughts are absorbed in Krishna. They like to discuss among themselves. They take pleasure in it. So by their association, sangat sanjayate kamaha. It's a universal principle of human psychology, which before people started going to universities and getting degrees in psychology, Krishna had already noted this, that by association one's desires develop. So the topic in this section of Bhagavatam is hearing topics of Krishna and how it's beneficial to do so. But then someone may think, well, I don't have any taste for that. I don't have any taste for hearing about it. So serve devotees. Serve devotees. Try to hear from them. But if you just serve, you will get the idea. You'll get the feeling for hearing about Krishna. So this service to superiors, to gurus, and which is very much part of Vedic culture, that the perfection of that is in serving the Vaishnavas. And it was very much part of Vedic culture. It's as with everything good in this, the effect of this Kali Yuga is that everything good is being undermined. Whereas previously, it was just a normal thing, just absolutely part of the culture that juniors serve seniors. And they don't think about it. It's just absolutely part of their way of thinking. Young boy, he won't even think. He won't think, should I or should I not? If he sees an elder person carrying some weight, he'll take it and carry it for him. For instance, the disciples, they would serve the Guru in such a way. Before the days of electricity, we're back in the days of no electricity. And now we have this light running on the, what's it called? The